welcome to Trayer Wilderness. It is a gorgeous Sunday afternoon here in northern Idaho. I tried to do a video outside at a particular area to show you guys some things, but the container was blocking my signal, so I couldn't. But I did take pictures to share with you, and if you saw the picture, you have to go back and look at the thumbnail picture for this video. The mountain man and I decided to go for a walk. We took the dogs for their first walk in months because of Copper had her leg operated on prior, and then we went right into hunting season, and it's just unsafe to take these guys out. She's as big as a deer, a quick glance, same color, so we just don't like to take them out. And plus we've been so busy building, so we got out for a little walk today. However, I didn't go very far. My spill the other night has left me stuck on the couch. So tomorrow will probably be the worst day because it's always the third day, and then I'm hoping I'll be smooth sailing. But I definitely pulled something, just trying to take it easy so I don't hurt myself more. But it's just a gorgeous day out there, so it's kind of driving me a little crazy to be stuck inside. You can see a bunch of you on here. Good afternoon, Miss Tammy. Hello, Aaliyah. Hello, Deb. Deb says, I'm so glad I am here with you today. So gorgeous there, too. Yes, it is absolutely amazing. Oh, Deb says, oh no, Tammy, been praying for your healing. Yeah, it'll be all right. It was just a crazy thing. It still makes me shudder thinking about what it could have been like. I just kind of chuckle. It happened on Friday evening, and when I came down after I took the arnica and after it immediately happened and put ice on it and just sat there, I just kind of was dumbfounded because, man, that could have just been so ugly. I mean, if I would have come through with the left leg, I would have bounced my face off that beam. I mean, I would have hit it. I just would have been in a bloody heap when he came home. So I'm very thankful, very thankful. Yesterday was fine. I was getting around pretty good, but today I'm really feeling it in my thigh muscle. And that's the weird part of this is I nailed my knee, but I instantly had pain in my thigh muscle and seriously thought I wasn't going to be able to get back up. It felt like I tore it. And I don't think I tore it. I probably just pulled it, but my thigh is the thing that's giving me the trouble. And it's not even the leg that came through and got whacked in a million different places. It's just the leg that I landed on. So a little strange, but I want to encourage you guys to go and check out SilentTreeNaturals.com. Angie makes amazing things. She's a good friend of mine, and she has blessed me with some of her fabulous products. And one of them is a cayenne menthol healing salve, and I'm using that. I'm also using the Dit the Jow, which you can find down below in the description. And I'm also using, I can't remember what order it's in, but it is bone tissue. I'll have to look it up and I'll share it in the next video. But my friend Denzel made it for me. He's also the one that has made the Dit the Jow for me. And all my herbs are packed away right now, and some of which my tinctures were frozen. But having those natural things on hand is awesome, and I'm just so thankful. But I want to share something with you guys. I'll tell you what, it is such an awesome thing when you hit a place in your life where you have never felt more like you are right where you are supposed to be. I just love our cabin. I love our location. I love our view. I love my life, but I just feel so constantly wrapped in love. I don't even know how to explain it other than to just share what I just did with you. But I have never felt in my life like I'm right where I need to be. And I mean, I've been progressing to a place of feeling and knowing that what I'm doing is what I'm called to do. But this is just such an awesome feeling. And we had friends over last night, and they just kept saying how comforting our home is. And that just makes my heart just so warm knowing, you know, this is such a little place, but it is just so impactful, and that's what we want it to be. So whether it's they're joining me physically here or whether you are joining me in this way, I hope it feels that way because it's just so awesome and I just feel so tremendously blessed. The mountain man went off for a walk in the woods. I was invited with, but I couldn't do it. There's no way I can try to lift my leg up over top of or over things right now because my thigh muscle is just so sore. So hopefully after tomorrow I'll be back in good shape and ready to go. But that's another thing. Until I fell, I have really haven't felt this good in so many years. It's just amazing. This build has been very very good for us in so many ways. It's so awesome. So we will be building the bathhouse soon, so that'll continue my physical activity as well. I can see a bunch of messages here. Hello, Carol. Carol is joining us from the UK. And we've got Aaliyah says hi to Deb, and awesome. She also says, yes, beautiful setting, beautiful wood in the background. Deb says, I totally agree. Felt the same way visiting with you and the family in your cozy home. You are glowing in spite of your hurting knee. That's funny. Thank you. I appreciate that. And it's so funny you say that because when Deb and her son were here visiting, we had 4 dogs. With Deb and her son, there were 6 of us in this cabin. I mean, it was almost kind of like standing room only. There was seating, but if you stood up, you had to be so cautious where you were moving and where you were walking. It was so full. It was so funny, but it was so awesome. It was so awesome. And I feel like I'm glowing. I'm overwhelmed by just abundance and happiness in my life, and it's awesome. So I want to share this with you guys. Hopefully you guys can see this. I don't know. I love walking out here. It's so untouched. And right in front of me at the house here, there's no longer snow on anything except for in the morning. There's a coating of ice over everything. And it looks amazing. That's why I shared it with you that one morning, because once the sun's on it for a period of time, it disappears. But there is a section of our property that stays in the shade because of the trees, and the snow is on it, and it just is God's handiwork. I love ice. I love snow. I love the snowflakes. You know, every snowflake is different, and it's just amazing. So I don't know if you guys can see these. Let's see. Let me figure out which way I'm going here. Okay. And it's just like, that's just ice and on the branches, but it's just so amazing. It just, each tree has its own unique look to it, but I wanted to share this with you. And here, it's a leaf from another plant, but it looks like ribbon around. It's just awesome. I get so engrossed in it. It just takes me away. And I wanted to share this with you live, but the video wouldn't go that far. Like the container was blocking my signal. So, but I got to show you something else. Oh, I bet you I didn't put it on here. Look at that. And this one here is just so awesome. But I don't think I put the other ones on. No, I didn't. Okay, so we were walking. You have to go back and look at the thumbnail picture. We were walking, and there was this, I wish it's on my phone and I can't show you. I never saw ice like this before. It almost looked like flower petals all piled up on the lane. And I was like, oh my gosh, look at that. And I said, you know, he doesn't like when he wants to go for his stroll. He's not always real keen on me getting the camera out because I get so intrigued by all this little stuff. But I did take a picture of that. I took these other pictures once I was heading back and he was on his way. But the stuff that looked like little flower petals, I'm taking the picture and I am just engrossed in the detail. And all of a sudden, as I took the picture and I'm looking in the camera at it, there's a heart smack in the center of it. And then I put a picture. I did share the picture in the community, so you can look at it there. As I shared it on the community, I'm looking at it, and there's not just one heart, there's 2. I didn't look further because I wanted to jump on and go live with you guys. So there's probably more in there, but it was just so awesome. And that just awes me. That's God's way of sharing with me that he's so ever present in my life, and it's just so awesome. So I wanted to share that with you. I wish I could have gone live because you guys would have just been enamored by it. It's just so beautiful. But the other thing that's really cool is where I was walking and where all the ice is on the trees is where our guest cabins are going to go. And I know my mother-in-law, she sees things the way I do too. It's the simple pleasures in life. And I know that if she's staying in our cabin and it's like that outside, she's just going to be taken back. And then where our guest cabins will be, there'll be a little trail that comes through to the main house. And it's just, I said I want to put stone down, and the mountain man's like, what do you need to put stone down? I'm like, because I know your mother would absolutely love it to have this little trail that leads to the main house. So that's, I'm going to make it a point to do that, and I'll probably put little heart-shaped rocks in the midst of it. She's a special lady. I love her. So anyway, that was what I got to see today, and I wanted to share it with you, so I had to share it this way. But you'll have to go back into the community and check out that other picture. So I see some of you are messaging. Oh, hey, Terry. I'm glad you're joining. Terry says, hi, my friend. Thank you with all my heart for your prayers and support for June and I for my health. I received the information you sent me for Austin. I love y'all's cabin too. God bless. God bless you too. And I am praying for June. I'm glad that she doesn't have COVID. I saw your message. I didn't get a chance to respond. And thank you for blessing Austin. That's so awesome of you. He will love that. And you can count on our prayers, Terry. I know that what you're walking out is very difficult, and that's the beauty of our community. I want you guys to look up Ecclesiastes 4:9-12. That is our community. That is what we represent. And I want you guys, I'm not going to read it to you because I want you to come back and tell me what you gained from it. I want you guys to go and highlight it in your Bible app. I want you to go and highlight it in your Bible. And I want you guys to realize the power in those verses. Ecclesiastes 4:9-12. That is what this community represents. And it has been so amazing. I sent my newsletter out yesterday, and I've been getting so many comments from people. And just people reaching out and sharing how we are touching or affecting or aiding them in their walk, and it brings tears to my eyes. That's just awesome because I give God all the glory. I am here behind this camera doing what I am feeling led to do, and that led by the Holy Spirit. So please look that verse up and record it and realize that you guys are a huge part of that in our community, because as I'm sitting here reading the comments, you guys are communicating back and forth and loving on each other, and that is just awesome. And you guys pray for each other, and that is awesome. So Terry, you've got a lot of people praying for you, and you can count on our continued prayers. Deb says seating for 5 and 1 standing. Right, exactly. And 4 dogs that wrapped around in the midst of all that. Carol says, oh, wow, beautiful. Deb says, I so loved our visit, sharing your love seat like we had known each other forever. It's amazing. That's what God does when he connects us with the right people. You know, so often in life we're seeking people to better us, to add something more wholesome to our lives. You know, sometimes we just need wholesome people there to support us in our journey. And it's been really awesome over the last 4 years. And I can really say that wholeheartedly, that over the last 4 years, God has blessed us with such tremendously wholesome people in our lives that is part of why I feel so abundantly rich. Because of those people who support us, encourage us, just pray for us, and it's just amazing. It's amazing. And all those relationships that God has blessed us with over the last 4 years specifically, I feel that. I feel like I've known everyone forever, and there's just such an instant connection, and that is hard to find. And that is why I love our community. You know, our community, every time I get off of these live videos, I feel so renewed and I feel so connected. And that is a great feeling to have, because in this crazy world, it's hard to find that. It's hard not to find the hypocrisy, not to find the pettiness and the cliques and the clusters, and it's just nice when you really are able to meet fine, wholesome, faith-led, God-loving people. And so I treasure you all. And thank you, Deb. So let's see here. Gorgeous, Deb says, same here for 2 days. The frost. Now sun is shining through. Yes, it just looks so amazing. I absolutely love it. Carol says, did you get the pics and video I sent you on the messenger? I did not, but I'm going to go back and look, because when we were communicating, the mountain man all of a sudden decided he was going to go for a walk and invited me. So I headed with him. So I will check that out as soon as I am off of here, and I will respond to you. Yes, Ecclesiastes 4, 9 through 12. Yes. Oh, hello, Rhonda. I'm glad you're joining. Stopped in to let you know I received my fervent book yesterday, and you're live. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I can't wait for us to start the Bible study. It is going to be so much fun. And I already have the topics planned for ahead, and I know that they are going to be so helpful for us all. I've gained so much from the books that I read, and I share them with you, but to be able to break them apart and go through them together, I think will be life-changing for us all. You know, and one of the great things with these live videos too is to know that, and the wholesome connections I have made over the last 4 years, is to know that much of what I am walking out in my life, I am not alone with, even though I thought in many ways I was. So I know, and I hope and pray that those of you out there are also feeling that it's comforting to know that we've walked out tough stuff, but we are still here, and we're courageous, and we're supporting one another, and we are Ecclesiastes 4, 9 through 12. So let me see here. Hey, Caleb. Yes, exactly. Iron sharpens iron. And we have such an amazing community. I really feel it. I feel God really working in our community. And that just, it warms me in great ways. My heart is just feeling so overly abundant. Aaliyah says, yes, I appreciate the prayers as well. And I know, good afternoon, right, Rhonda? Half the time, I don't know what day it is. I don't know if you guys heard the story with the clock, but I converted a wall art into a clock this week. And the mountain man's like, well, aren't you going to paint the numbers on it? And I'm like, well, no, because, you know, that's 12, that's 3, that's 6, that's 9, you know. And he's like, well, what about the minutes? I'm like, when in our life do we ever have to worry about the exact minute? I said, we don't even know for sure what day it is most of the time. So that's just kind of our humor. So exactly, it's all good, because I couldn't have told you exactly what time it was either, Rhonda. Terry says, thank you all. Please let me know how I can help anyway, and with prayers. Well, just pray for healing for my leg, and pray that I did not tear anything, and that I just pulled something, and that it'll heal quickly. Good afternoon, Miss Shelley. Deb says, howdy, Rhonda. Excited to share this study with you too. And howdy, Caleb. See, you guys are loving on each other. I love it. I love it. I love it. Absolutely, Carol. And I'm happy for the connection with you. Shelley says, I will be working at the time of the Bible book study, so we'll probably have to watch a replay. I cannot wait to watch. Awesome. Well, it's going to be a lot of fun. And this is a trial with the time and the day, because it's really hard to figure out how to accommodate everybody. So I picked a day and a time, and I figure we'll see what kind of feedback I get. If I hear a lot of people saying that that's a hard time for them, we may shuffle it, and we may shuffle it to another day, because I want as many people as we can get joining in on that. And it's not just for the women, it's for the men too. The first book that I chose says that it's a woman's prayer women's battlefield for prayer, I think is how it's worded. But as I put in the commenting on the Bible study, it doesn't matter if you're male or female. We're breaking this down, and it's going to pertain to both. So please, if you are a male and are wanting to join, don't be deterred by that. join us, because it's a co-ed Bible study, and I think we will all gain from it. And it's always nice to get the different perspectives, because the Mountain Man and I don't always view things the same way, even though we're reading the exact same verse. I shared that with you in regard to James the other day. So definitely join us. And let me see here. But I'm glad, Shelly, that you will be watching the replays, and you will be able to comment on the replays in the dashboard, so you can still interact, and others will see it. Prayers for son has celiacs, please. You got it, girl. My son did not have celiac, but because of the autism, a gluten-free and dairy-free diet was essential. So if he ever needs help, the Trayer Wilderness Cookbook that I created is all gluten-free recipes that also have the conversion for those that don't need a gluten-free diet. So it's both, but it has a lot of my gluten-free tips and tricks in there, and there's a lot of different flours that can be utilized. Although the Mountain Boy is not here anymore, I don't do well with gluten, so I do a lot of that myself. So and we eat very clean. So if he ever needs assistance, you ever need assistance, don't hesitate to reach out. We would be happy to assist in whatever way we can, because my goal when my son was on the gluten-free diet was making sure that I could make everything that he was used to in a gluten-free, and that he loved, in a gluten-free fashion that still tasted good, and you couldn't tell the difference. That was my whole goal for the one summer, and I managed to pull that off, that the Mountain Man couldn't tell the difference anymore. So that was pretty awesome. Let me see here. Okay, Deb and Rhonda are communicating, so I'm trying to make sure I'm not reading those out loud, because that's all good. Melissa said, I should be doing the DNRS very soon. Excited for that. You will do really well with that. That was just such a life changer for me. I started that, and the next day I saw immediate, intense results. To the point that the Mountain Man just stood there with his mouth hanging open. It was that much of a difference. What she's talking about is retraining the brain. You can find out details on that by going to trayerwilderness.com/retraining the brain. And I think there's stuff in this below. Actually, I think it's in my weekly live that I did this week, that you can find that information. But by going to trayerwilderness.com/retraining the brain, you will find that. Oh, awesome. Thanks. We'll get the cookbook. Okay. Awesome. Let me see here. Okay. Shelly said the gentleman I'm working with is palliative, so not sure how many more weeks he will be with us. Then I might be able to join you. My schedule changes now and again. Well, we will be praying for him. And also, that would be awesome if you could join us. That would be so, so awesome. Oh, no, that's fine. I know it's hard sometimes, because I can't always tell when you guys are communicating together. And it's all fine. I wasn't going to read it out loud since you guys were communicating. But Shelly says, gotta go. Have some errands to run. Have a wonderful day. You too, sweet friend. Love you, girl. Aaliyah says, I like that it's 14 hours within a couple days. Yes, because I've been having short-term memory loss. Yeah, it is a tremendous course, and I did the DVD, so it worked out really good. I devoted the whole weekend to it, and just, took myself away from the rest of the family and did things with that program, and it was awesome. It's a 6-month period afterwards that you just keep creating new habits for yourself. But it's amazing how we have so much more control over our bodies than we realize. I'm actually going to do it again once we're a little more settled in here and I can commit to things. But it is life-changing. Let me see here. Oh, Deb says, oh, yes, Tammy, thanks for the reminder of retraining our brains. Need to check that out, too. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It is a very awesome online community, Rhonda. It is awesome. I am just so, with the exception of some of these people that keep spamming afterwards with the online girls and all that kind of stuff, I watch these other channels and they complain so much about all the trolls and all the negativity and all these nasty people. And, we just don't have that. And it's so awesome. I praise God for that, because the more and more as we go on our cabin build, the more people we have joining us, and it is just so awesome. And the kids that are watching and joining in and that. And so, like I said, I'm going to be starting a book reading. I just haven't decided if I'm going to do it on YouTube or in our community, in our academy area. But that should be really fun too. But it's just fun to have the kids joining in too. It's hard to find a wholesome place on YouTube that is family friendly, which is really a shame. But I wanted to encourage you guys, this is my soul food for your Sunday, is to start reading the book of Luke in the Bible. This is, it's very fitting for right now, but it's an awesome story. So often people get turned off by the Bible because, of course, they start in the Old Testament. And the Old Testament has a lot of lineage in there. It's easy to get lost in that. It's easy to get lost in the these and the thous. And it just, for a new believer or for new people in the Bible, they get so discouraged by all the crazy stories. They don't see just the miracles and all the amazingness that God is doing, but there's a lot of people will call it wrath. But it's God teaching lessons, and there's a lot of amazing stories in the Old Testament. But what I recommend that you do is you start by reading the New Testament. If you're new to the Bible, new to reading it. And as I talked about the other day, it's important to find a version of the Bible that resonates with you. And you can go to Bible.com and you can sign up there. It's free. They have an app. Look me up. Just search for Tammy Trayer and you'll find me, and you can friend me on there. Because it's neat to see what people are, you can see what people are highlighting, photos that are being shared and saved and that. And you can also do Bible studies together there with other members. But it's just a great place to be connected. You get inspired by seeing what other people are reading. But on the Bible.com app, you are able to select different versions of the Bible. Ones I recommend are NLT, NIV, HCSB. There's also the Message. The Message Bible resonates to some people because it's very modern, very, as Todd White says, it's the hey dude kind of version of the Bible. So for me, I feel like there's some stuff being lost there, but if it resonates to people and they are able to understand the Bible more, that's why it's there. I just feel there's stuff lost because I'm a traditional person. As much as I would love to read the King James Version, I have to go to other versions to be able to totally comprehend what it's trying to say. However, I go back through to the King James Version when I'm sharing different verses because of the authenticity of it and the traditional sound to it. So anyway, go to Bible.com and check it out. And you can find a version that is more clear to you, that helps you to better understand it. Because once you can better understand the Bible, there is so much amazingness in it, and things will start to really stand out to you. You'll start to remember things better as you go, if those are your desires. That has always been mine. But read Luke. Shelley just left, but she's one that reads Luke this time of year every year. And John is another good one. I love the New Testament. I love the whole Bible, but there's a lot of stories in the Old Testament that really have impacted me. But start with the New Testament and dive in. So much good stuff. God works miracles every day and is present in our lives every day if we pause and slow down enough to experience it. So I just wanted to encourage that of you guys and to just share with you the Ecclesiastes 4, 9 through 12. And as Caleb said, iron sharpens iron. We have a really special community here. And it's not because of the prayers, it's because of everybody present. And we all bring so much to the table. And that's what I think is just so amazing. I love when you guys share your stories. I love when you guys share heartfelt prayer needs and you know, some of you share very openly, and I have shared very openly with my healing and some of the things I've experienced in life. And you know, through those moments, I think that there's, you know, nurturing and learning that comes from that, because one of the things you learn is you're not alone, that we all go through different struggles, and we're all going to go through struggles, and having a community that you can go to and feel enriched and loved and just held and sharpened is an awesome, awesome thing. And I am just awed and honored that we have such a community. So love you all so much. Let me see here. Deb says, love this community, and Tammy and her heart for love for others. Oh, thank you so very much. Oh, and Carol says, me too, Debs. Oh, thank you guys. But I give God the glory. This is just awesome. It's funny you're mentioning Bible versions. I was just thinking about this. It has come to my attention once again that the NIV has portions left out. Let me see here. Deb says, yes, agree. Nice to meet so many wholesome, Jesus-loving folks. Yeah, and you know, with the Bible, there are versions that do leave things out. They're like the Message. If you go through it and you go to read Ecclesiastes 9 through 12, it may not show all of those verses. It kind of clumps things together. I like to be able to really learn the verses. I like to meditate on verses and really just deepen myself into these verses. So, and I wish I could understand the King James fully. I keep praying that God will help me with that, because I have my grandfather's King James study Bible, and that means so much to me. I can still picture him sitting at his dining or his kitchen table, reading the Bible and praying when I would come down in my summer visits with them, and they were my my heroes when it comes to my faith, and I think of them all the time. So having his Bible means a lot to me. But I do like the NLT, and the NIV is a good Bible, but you gotta jump around. You gotta like really expand in your reading and understanding. In the study Bibles, when you're reading a verse, it often gives reference to other areas where this same story is being spoken about, to give it more clout. And you'll find that a lot in the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Acts. In those books, all the cross-referencing that's being done. And so much goes back to Psalms with David. So it's really amazing when you start really delving in and you really start understanding the stories and you really start understanding the connections and how so many seeds were planted early in the Old Testament, and all the things that were to come to pass. It's pretty awesome. And just, you know, when I think about the stories of the Israelites and how they came out of slavery and all the miracles that God worked, and they just so quickly lost faith. You know, I can't imagine walking through a sea and having walls of water and sea life right next to you as you're walking on dry ground. I mean, if that would not be a testament, I don't know what would be. But people, so many people have hardened hearts and fear, and they lack faith. And I want to, you know, as we go on all these things, I want to just encourage you guys to strengthen your faith and trust in God. You know, we're walking out some pretty weird times right now, and you know, I'm not a doom and gloomer, but I do see trials ahead. I see weird times ahead, and the stronger our faith is as we walk into those times, the better off we will be. So see God's miracles. You know, as we were listening to the sermon this morning, Mike at WFR Church was referring to Acts 2:24, I believe it is. I will read that. Oop, my Bible was open. It's a pretty awesome thought when you think about it. Yes. Okay. So this is talking about when, you know, God was raised, Jesus was raised from the dead. It says, but God released him from the horrors of death and raised him back to life, for death could not keep him in its grip. Now, I want to switch that to the NIV version. No. Hang on. Bear with me a second here. Okay, so whom God has raised up, having loosed the pains of death, because it was not possible that he should be holden of it. So in other words, it's impossible for death to hold God. That's just such an incredible thought, you know, and that will happen for us too as believers, that, you know, death won't be able to hold us either, because we will have life afterward. But there's just so many good promises and so many miracles, and the thing is, we have to continue to build our faith and trust muscles. I can't encourage that enough, because when we walk out in full faith, that is when God truly meets us. When we think we're walking out in full faith and trust and then keep pulling back on the reins, we have more work to do. And he doesn't fully meet us. But man, when you trust him wholeheartedly, it's amazing how he not only meets you, but he grabs you by the hand and starts running with you. And it's pretty awesome stuff. We've experienced that pretty amazingly. So I just want to encourage that with you guys. Let me see here. You guys have been chatting. That's awesome. She says, I have the NIV Study Bible and my King James. I grew up with King James. Use them both to compare. So do I. That's exactly what I do. And it's a really great way to do things. And, you know, I follow people who break down the Bible also to its original Hebrew. And just totally went blank. But to its original language and what the original words actually meant. And it's pretty amazing when you really start having a passion to learn that. And I love learning, so that's something that I'm very passionate about. So yes, that's a great way to do it. Pastor recommended the ESV for our daughter when she asked him about the NIV. That was Rhonda. Yeah, you know, that's why I say it's really important for you to find what resonates to you, because everybody has a different take on it. You know, Phil Robertson and his family use the NIV wholeheartedly. And there's other people that swear by other versions. So you're going to get a lot of mixed commentary on them. And that's why I feel that it's really important, you know, that you find something that you can fully understand and then be willing to compare. So that is my suggestion, because it's a personal thing. Because the other thing is, God is going to direct you. And when you start reading and delving into the Bible and you start seeking the relationship with him, he will share with you exactly what you need to hear when you need to hear it. I promise you. I mean, there have been times where I get my Bible and I'm just like, God, show me what I need to read. And I just let it open. And I read it, and sometimes it is just like, wow, dead on, exactly what I needed to hear. Other times, it's like, okay, I don't get why he directed me here, but I'm going to trust that there's purpose in it. And sure enough, later in the week, a week later, 2 weeks later, it's like, okay, I get now why he directed me there. So I don't ever view anything as a coincidence, and I don't ever view his leading and his guiding as false or not having meaning. So those are some tips for you guys in embracing the Bible. But the key thing to do is embrace it and to seek him out and to have that relationship, because Christianity it is not a religion, it's a relationship. And some people are afraid to say Christianity because of the reactions from those around. I'm a Jesus lover. I'm a Christian. I'm whatever you wish to call it. I'm a Bible thumper. I'm okay with that. Yes, I am. And I'm good with that. The thing is, you've also got to get to that place where what other people think really doesn't matter, because we are seeking it to build a relationship. That was nasty. My old dog hacks all the time. Sorry. Anyway, the key thing is that you're going to be building a relationship that's a better relationship than any you have on this earth, and it's one that's going to give you life in abundance. So, and it will allow you to live in a place of joy and happiness and great faith and trust if you continue to seek it. So that's what I wanted to share today. Let me see here. Yes, Max Lucado uses NIV for what I read the other day. Yeah, exactly, Rhonda. It's just, and I really, as I've been researching it and trying to decide what to do myself, I'm finding that I just need to go with what really resonates most to me. And like I said, it's a personal preference. Like the message, I feel like there's so much lost in it, even though I go to it periodically just for kicks and giggles to see what's being shared in certain settings, certain books. But I really like the traditional side of things. And I love having the Bible app and Bible.com, but I also love having that physical book. That physical book is priceless, especially that's the most important book in my house. And if internet and technology disappears tomorrow, I want to have that book on hand. I also like the Bible.com app because when I'm out in the woods, I can look stuff up. When I'm writing, I can look stuff up. I can read it whenever I want, wherever I'm at. So that's also awesome. So let me see here. Caleb says, I have to have a study. I need the context that it gives. Yeah, you know what? And we are all different in our ways of learning. And sometimes I do a lot with devotionals, and I do a lot with different studies and reading different books and then correlating with the Bible. I've found that the deeper I dive into it and the deeper I allow myself to get, regardless what avenue helps me the most, I gained so much. So Caleb, you should join the Bible study with us. I think you would have a good time. I don't know if you saw that I shared that, but I have started a Bible study, and you can find information out about it at TrayerWilderness.com/Bible Study Book Club. I'm going to be going through some really awesome topics because I feel that as Christians, we need to know how to pray, know how to have the relationship, know how the enemy interferes, know how lack of forgiveness keeps us stuck, not only in our faith, but in our life, and being able to move forward, but also having a tremendous group of faith-led individuals, Ecclesiastes 4:9-12, and iron sharpens iron, that will help us to grow into our higher selves. And when I say that, a lot of people will be like, that's conceited, but it's really not. And it's not a narcissistic thing to be a higher self. It means that we are spirit-led and stepping out into a place where we are being very faith-led. So it's a Holy Spirit thing, and I've experienced it, and it's an awesome place to be when you keep seeking that relationship. So, and that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Caleb.
Rhonda says, thank you, Tammy and others. Nice listening and chatting, but I need to get back to what I was doing. Have a great day. You as well. I need to jump off of here also and get an ice pack. But Deb says, I have the New King James for my study Bible and both King James and NIV that I refer to also. My son brought home an amplified version as a thesaurus. Awesome. Awesome. And Rhonda, take care. It was awesome to have you. I am glad you got to join, and I can't wait to do our Bible study together. That'll be awesome. And okay, so you guys are saying your goodbyes to Rhonda. She's an awesome lady. I've known Rhonda for quite some time. And knowing that all of you folks are going to be joining in the Bible study, we are going to have a tremendous, tremendous time. I'm very excited. But I just wanted to jump on here and give you guys some Sunday soul food. And you know what? You guys sharing, I love it because you help other people too. You know, difference in perspective, difference in understanding, difference in how we learn. A couple books to consider is Jesus Calling. That is a fabulous devotional. And I want to recommend that you guys each get a journal for the new year. Whether it's just a dollar store lined paper notebook that the kids would use in school, like a one subject notebook, or whether you buy a journal online. I have one that I continue to purchase that fits in my, it's back here, that fits in my leather cover. I can't reach it, but journaling is really important. I use it it's my prayer journal. And in there, then I just record things that happen throughout the day, special verses, encounters, and it's really fun to look back on. But journaling and having a prayer journal really also deepens your walk with Jesus and your commitment and in creating that habit. So I want to encourage that you guys get a journal, because that's part of what I'm going to recommend in the Bible study too. It's very powerful. It's also my gratitude journal. So it serves a purpose. It's one thing that serves multi-purposes. So I want to encourage you guys to make sure you take that route too, because it's very powerful. Oh, cool. Caleb says, I look forward to it. Awesome. And Deb says, that is so awesome to be making connections here. Thanks, everyone. Oh, you guys are going to keep making connections, because I see all of you sharing. And like I said, you all are bringing a lot to the table. And I love that we have such a mixed group. Caleb and Terry and Chad and Herbert have been joining us on a regular basis, and then all you ladies, this is just awesome stuff, and it brings so much to the table, really, really does. Terry says, I have a quick question. The Bible says where two or more come together, what you ask for will be given. I'm the only one here, so does that still work? Absolutely. 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 And Terry, you got to look at it this way also. When you request prayers and you have others joining you in the same prayer, it is where we are all coming together. And although, you know, our prayers may not seem or feel like they are being answered as we progress and you don't see any changes, but you have to remember that God is working a million miracles in the background all the time. He's lining things up in tremendous ways that we cannot see as of right now. He only shows us glimpses. And his timing, although it may not be what we're looking for, because we live in a world where we want immediate results, but his timing is always best. We walked out a tremendous 4-year financial journey. And of course, we would have liked our prayer answered immediately. But the way he answered our prayers 4 years later could not have been better. It was amazing. So I know that you get discouraged, as do others. And it can be depressing when we don't see our prayers being immediately answered. But that's where we also have to step up with faith and trust and believe that although our prayers don't seem like they're being answered and we wonder if he's hearing us, we have to know deep in our heart that he does hear us and he is working. And something else I want to encourage you to do is thank him now for what you want to see later. Not necessarily like, okay, let me share it this way. When I shifted my prayers in our financial situation to thank you, God, for finding the perfect buyer for our home, and I kept thanking him for that in advance and expressing how that might look, what that perfect buyer might look like, and what that might mean in my prayer, and continue to thank him in that regard, everything started to move. So gratitude is what he's looking for also. And we can thank him in advance for what he's going to do. I thank him every day for the constant abundance, and he's constantly, abundantly blessing us. So don't lose faith, don't lose hope, and know that as you are asking for prayers, this community is lifting you and you are joined. And he is working, even though it can be very discouraging. We know all about that, and we know what that's like. So don't lose faith, don't lose faith, and don't lose hope. And know that those prayers are strong when we join you in them. So stay strong. Stay strong. I know it's easy for me to say, people will say it's easy for you to say that, but I have walked it out, and I know where you're at, and I've walked out other things in my life, and I know how you can get to a low place when our prayers aren't being answered. But just keep reading the word, reading his promises, trusting his promises, be encouraged by them. And just look for the small things every day that he's doing in your life. Those are all stepping stones towards the answers to your prayers. So just keep focusing on that. And Terry, that was a great question. Terry says, I wasn't sure, but now I do. God bless. God bless you too. Thank you for the encouragement and hope. I'm not giving up. Yeah, don't give up, because I'll tell you what, when people give up, they were this far away from reaching either their goal or their prayer being answered. So don't lose faith. When it also says that those that pray with great faith and trust in what they're asking for, they will receive it. So stay strong, and none of you, don't ever quit. If you desire something in life, you just have to keep working your way to it. Sometimes that might mean that instead of going straight up the mountain, you might have to go around it to get to the top. But don't give up and don't quit. And the nice thing is when you have other faith-led individuals to bounce your struggles off of, to bounce your praises off of, it really is a powerful thing. Not everybody has that in life, and it saddens me, because when you have other faith-led individuals that are there walking with you, it makes the journey so much better. So Carol says, you got this, Terry. We will all stand with you. That's so awesome. In the kitchen with Rob. Oh, welcome. Where are you from, Rob? That's awesome to have you, and I'm glad you joined in and had something to say. And yes, amen. When we come together, it is a powerful thing. And when we stand beside each other, that's even a more powerful thing. So I'm honored to have you all joining, and I'm honored that you guys are joining and gaining bonds in the community, because we have a tremendous community, and I am so proud of you guys, and it makes me just feel filled and overflowing. So I kept you guys on here long enough today. I just wanted to be able to share with you and give you some things to think about for
your Sunday and your week ahead. That's the other beauty of our Bible study upcoming, is that it's going to start in the beginning of the week, and my goal is that it feeds you through till our next Bible study, that it empowers you and strengthens you and encourages you. And I hope these videos do the same. And Orlando, Florida, I love your positivity. Well, thank you. It is divinely implanted, and I love life. I love my surroundings, and I feel God in it and in my everything. So, and positivity is the thing that heals. I just went through a 4-year healing journey, and I've always been told throughout my life that I wear pink shady glasses, and it wasn't pink shady glasses, it was just lots of positivity, and it has served me well. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. And it's good to have you joining. Keep joining us. Terry said, thank you, Carol. That's awesome. Sending you giant hugs and prayers, Terry. I know you don't know me, but one extra prayer might help. Carol, you're awesome. And Terry, that is a heartfelt. She's an awesome lady. And it's so true. You know what? We just need to wrap each other in prayers. I pray for you guys every day, individually with the prayers that I know you need, but as a whole as well, and just lifting each other's prayers. So if you're watching the replay of this, if you and any of you out there, if you have a praise to share, share it. If you have a prayer to share and a request, please share it. If it is personal, still share it, but just say you need unspoken prayers. We don't need to know the details. We just need to know you need loving. God knows what you need. And if you have questions or comments, leave them below, because we love hearing from everybody, and we love being able to answer your questions. So I'm going to send you guys off. Deb says, praises for you, Terry. Don't give up. I'm alone a lot also. Then this happens. God knows and will bless us all. Awesome. Awesome. I have been in places where I've been alone too. So like I said, Terry, I know, and I know it can be hard, and just keep seeking him and keep joining us for encouragement so that you don't feel alone. It's important to surround yourself with good people and to not be alone. When we're alone, the enemy loves to sit on our shoulder. And if we're not strong enough through our weak times, he will sit there and just crumble us. So when we are together with other people that understand and that want to empower, it keeps the enemy at bay. So we will be praying for both you and Deb also, that the enemy stays far, far away. Remember, you have great power over him. Tell him to take a hike. Tell him to go pound sand, and tell him to go away. We have that power. Go back where he belongs. As soon as I hear anything negative in my head, I know where it's coming from. As soon as I hear something being brought up from my past that is not something pleasant, I know where it's coming from. The enemy loves to continue to bring up and hound us with those things. So when we start hearing them, we need to just stop and push it away and start doing something else. And the more you learn to redirect those negative thoughts, the more positivity you will have in your life, the more positive you will be, and the more happy you will be. Because the other thing is, the enemy starts losing his hold on you, and that plays a huge role in it. So I hope that helps you guys. But we will be praying for you guys. And Rob, I'm really glad you joined us. That was awesome. Caleb, I'm glad you were able to pop in and join us also. And like I said, guys, join us on our Bible study. You can go to TrayerWilderness.com/Bible Study Book Club. It's for both men and women, and it's going to be a very powerful, powerful place. I know it. I feel it. I am being very led to do this. So join me. It would mean a lot to me, and I know you will gain a lot from it. So guys, I'm going to jump off of here. You guys have a fabulous rest of your day. I love you all, and we'll be praying for each of you, and may God bless the rest of your day and your week. Take care, guys. God bless.